We continue now at the top of Daf Tesam Aleph Meseches Yoma. This is Yoma Daf 9a. The Gemara here is bringing a brisa to explain why the Nachtom does not need to worry about Truma Gedola when it comes to Demai, Lefisha Shalach Bechol Gevula Yisrael, because they sent out messages in all the borders of Israel. V'ro'ani saw she'ein mafrishin el Truma Gedola bilvad, that they only were separating Truma Gedola. But the point is, even the Amei Haaretz were separating Truma Gedola, so that's not a concern. Rashi says, Lefisha Shalach Yochanan Kohen Gadol. We're talking here about Yochanan Kohen Gadol. He sent out a message, Shagazar al Adamai. He's the one that made the Gezer on Demai, Besota Beperak Egla Arufa. So therefore, when it comes to Truma Gedola, that's not a concern. Meiser Rishon or Meiser Ani Namilo. When it comes to Meiser Rishon and Meiser Ani, that's also not a concern. This Rashi already mentioned on the previous Amud, because Hamotzi Mechaveru Olavaraya, we apply the rule of Hamotzi Mechaveru Olavaraya. In other words, we don't know for sure whether this grain is Chayiv in Meiser Rishon or Meiser Ani, and therefore he can separate it, but the Levi and the Ani, they need to prove that it really belongs to them. Rashi says, Hamotzi Mechaveru Olavaraya, Mechi Afreshe Ve'afke Mishum Tevel Ein Bo Ela Safek Gezel Levi and Ve'anim. All you have over here is a doubt. Maybe you're stealing from the Ani. Maybe you're stealing from the Levi. Chutz mitrumas meiser shebesoch meiser rishon. The only issue is that within meiser rishon, you do need to give trumas meiser. Osa yitin lakoin. That one you actually do give to the kohen. Sheyesh iser va'avon misa v'achilasa. Because there, if you eat it, it's an iser of misa to eat it if it's trumas meiser. Well, the Levi v'ani yomer hevi uraya shelo iser amar shalakachti mimenu. When it comes to the Levi and the Ani, the only issue is maybe you're stealing. They need to bring a proof that you're stealing. They need to prove that this am haaretz didn't take off meiser, and that this is really chayiv in meiser rishon and meiser ani. So that explains why you don't have to worry about meiser rishon and meiser ani. Elo meiser sheini nifreshu v'nisku v'nechlu b'Yerushalayim. But when it comes to meiser sheni, what is the pshat in this Mishnah? Why does the Mishnah say that you don't have to separate meiser sheni? He should separate the meiser sheni and bring it up and eat it in Yerushalayim. And Rashi over here says, Nifreshu v'nisku, shareyesh bo iser losucha lecho b'sharecha. It's usher to eat it outside of Yerushalayim. Yafrishu kadei lasakin tivlo hoel v'lo pasti bei midi doha'inu nafshayu hadr klachli lebi Yerushalayim. You're not even going to lose anything. You just take it up to Yerushalayim and eat it there. And so the Gemara answers, Amar Ula says, Mitoch sheparhedron halalu. Because these parhedron are the people who are appointed by the king, so chovden osan kol yud beis chodesh. They would beat them all 12 months of the year. V'yomrim lahen, and they would say to them, Machru b'zol, sell your bread for cheap. So therefore they were already losing a lot of money on their bread. So lo atrachanu rabban, and therefore the rabbanon did not bother them that they have to travel all the way up to Yerushalayim to eat the meiser sheni. And the Gemara says, my parhedron, what does parhedron mean? It means porsi. It means those that are appointed by the king. Rashi over here explains, Chovden osan hanachtom and kol yod beis chodesh. They would beat the nachtom in all 12 months of the year. Mishana l'shana, every single year. Hamamunim mischachid. There would be new appointees every year. So it would be a new person coming and trying to force the baker to lose money. And every time there would be a new appointee, they would try to find ways to collect money. So therefore, lo atrachanu, therefore, the Rabban said, you're already losing so much money because of these parhedron, so therefore we're not going to bother that you have to take it up to Yerushalayim. V'samchu lomar sharov amei haaretz ma'asrin hein. We'll rely on the fact that most amei haaretz do indeed take off meiser, and as we said, porsi is pekidei hamelech. It refers to those who are appointed by the king. The Gemara continues, Amar Rabba bar bar Chana, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Rabba bar bar Chana says in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, what does the pasuk mean when it says in Mishnah, Yiras Hashem Tosef Yomim, fear of God will add days, Ushnos Rishon Tiktzerena, but the years of the wicked will be lessened. So Yiras Hashem Tosef Yomim Zem Mikdash Rishon. That refers, the fear of Hashem will add days, refers to the Mikdash Rishon. Sha'aman Arba Meos Ve'eser Shanim, because the Mikdash Rishon stood for 410 years. V'lo Shimshu Bo El Yudches Kohanim Gedolim. They only had serving in that base HaMikdash 18 Kohanim Gedolim. The Gra has a girsa of 12 Kohanim Gedolim. Ushnos Risham Tikserena, but the years of the wicked will be shortened. Zem Mikdash Sheni, this refers to the Mikdash Sheni. Sha'ama Daled Meos Ve'esrim Shana, it stood for 420 years, longer than the Mikdash Rishon. V'shim Shubo Yoser Mishlosh Meos Kohanim, but there were more than 300 Kohanim that served in the second base HaMikdash, meaning each Kohen Gadol served much less time in the second base HaMikdash. Now, Tzei Mehem Mem Shana Shashim Shimon HaTzadik. The Gemara says, subtract 40 years, that Shimon HaTzadik was the Kohen Gadol. Ushmonim in 80 years, Shashimesh Yochanan Kohen Gadol, where Yochanan Kohen Gadol was the Kohen Gadol, subtract those as well. And Eser Shashimesh Yishmael ben Pavi, and also subtract the 10 years that Yishmael ben Pavi was the Kohen Gadol. V'amri lo Yud Aleph, and some people say 11 years, Shashimesh Rabbi Elazar ben Charsum, when Rabbi Elazar ben Charsum was Kohen Gadol. Mikan v'elach tzei v'chashov kol echad v'echad lahotzi shnaso. From then on, if you do the math, it comes out that no Kohen Gadol lasted more than a year. Amar Rabbi Yochanan ben Tursa says, Why was Shiloh destroyed? Because there were two things happening at Shiloh that were wrong. Giloy Arayos of Izoyin Kachim. There was Giloy Arayos, and there was the desecration of the Kachim. Giloy Arayos Techsiv. How do we know Giloy Arayos? Because the pasuk says, "V'Eli Zokin Miod." It says Eli was very old. V'Shameis Kol Asher Yasun Bonav L'Chol Yisrael. V'Es Asher Yishkavun Es Hanoshim Hatzovos Pesach Ol Moed talks about Yishkavun Es Hanoshim, an idea of Giloy Arayos by the children of Eli. Now, even though Rav Shmuel bar Nachmani says in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, anyone who says the children of Eli sinned, is doing nothing other than making a mistake. Mitoch, but since, and the Gemara will continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Tes Amud Beis.